In the ancient world of Sumer, a land of gods, myths, and epic tales, is Inanna, the formidable goddess of love and war. Her journey is one of adventure, sacrifice, and betrayal. This is the truth of Inanna, the Sumerian Queen of Heaven, who was betrayed by the man she loved the most. In the heavens, Inanna, daughter of the moon god Nanna, and his wife, Ningal, was a bright force. Her ambition and beauty were unmatched. As she grew, Inanna explored the heavens and the earth, always curious. One day, while she walked by the Euphrates River, she saw a glimmer. A magnificent tree floated in the water, its branches shining in the sunlight. Drawn to its beauty, she walked closer, with her heart filled with wonder. "This tree will grow in my garden," she whispered, touching its leaves. "It will be the tree of life, full of wisdom and strength." She planted the tree in her garden at the temple of Anu, which she had taken as her own. The tree grew tall and strong, showing her power and beauty. Each morning, Inanna visited the tree, enjoying its growing beauty. But one night, dark forces tried to destroy it. As the moon cast shadows, a snake crawled through the garden and wrapped around the tree. The Anzu bird, with sharp eyes, sat on the branches. The demoness Lilith flew above, laughing and making the air cold. Inanna awoke to the sound of rustling leaves and hissing. Her heart pounded as she ran to the garden. "No!" she cried, seeing the creatures attacking her beloved tree. Upset by their constant attacks, Inanna went to her brother, the sun god, Shamash. "Shamash, help me protect the tree of life," she pleaded, her voice shaking with fear. Shamash looked at her with sadness in his eyes. "I cannot help, sister. This is a trial you must face alone." Not giving up, Inanna turned to the hero, Gilgamesh. Together, they confronted the creatures. Gilgamesh, with his great strength, shook the tree, knocking off the serpent. Inanna, her eyes full of determination, drove away Lilith with a burst of divine energy. The Anzu bird, sensing defeat, flew off into the night. But the tree was left in ruins, its once lush branches now broken. Heartbroken, Inanna looked at the shattered remains. "My beautiful tree," she murmured, tears in her eyes. Gilgamesh, trying to comfort her, said, "Let me craft a throne and a bed from its remains, so its spirit lives on." His kind words brought a small smile to Inanna's face. Inanna, always seeking more power, heard about the Me, the Sumerian divine decrees that held the secrets of civilization. They were the divine laws that made Mesopotamian civilization possible. These Me were guarded by Enki, the god of wisdom. "I will have those Me," she decided. She traveled to Enki's temple, her charm and grace winning his favor. Enki, who did not know her true intentions, welcomed her with a grand feast. Inanna watched Enki drink deeply, and she started to form a plan in her mind. As the night wore on, she encouraged him to drink more. When Enki finally fell asleep because of the wine, Inanna seized her chance. She slipped into the inner sanctum and took the Me. Enki awoke with a start, realizing what had happened. "Inanna, what have you done?" he bellowed. He sent spirits to retrieve the stolen Me, but Inanna dodged them. With the Me in her possession, she declared herself the Queen of Heaven, her power unmatched. But the story does not end here. Inanna's ambition led her to visit her sister, Ereshkigal, the Queen of the Underworld. She wanted to pay her respects at the funeral of Ereshkigal's husband, Gugalana. Ninshaba, her loyal servant, was worried. "My lady, the underworld is full of danger. Please be careful." Inanna, always confident, reassured her. "Do not worry, Ninshaba. I will leave instructions in case anything goes wrong." Inanna approached the gates of the underworld, her heart pounding. The air grew colder, and a sense of fear washed over her. Neti, the gatekeeper, challenged her. "Who wants to enter the land from which no one returns?" "Inanna, Queen of Heaven," she said, her voice steady. "I came to witness the funeral rites of my brother-in-law." Neti hesitated, but finally agreed, opening the gates one by one. At each gate, Inanna lost some of her power, her crown, her jewels, her garments. Each piece was left behind as she went deeper into the realm of the dead. By the time she stood before Ereshkigal, she was naked and vulnerable. Ereshkigal's eyes blazed with anger. "You dare come here uninvited? You will pay the price, she spat. With a wave of her hand, she condemned Inanna to death, hanging her body from a hook like a lifeless doll. For 3 days and nights, Ninshaba wept and mourned. Following Inanna's instructions, she went to Enki for help. Enki, moved by Ninshaba's devotion, created 2 beings to save Inanna. These beings, with their cunning and empathy, approached Ereshkigal in her pain and sorrow. Ereshkigal asked, "What do you want in return for your help?" The beings replied, "We ask for the body hanging on the hook." Ereshkigal, consumed by her own grief, agreed. With the food and water of life, they revived Inanna. As she took her first breath, Inanna whispered, "I am reborn, but at what cost?" She knew she could not leave the underworld without a replacement. Returning to the world above, she found Dumuzi, her lover, living without a care. He was dressed in his finest robes, sitting on his throne, enjoying music and company. Her anger boiled over. "You, who did not mourn my absence, will take my place," she declared. Dumuzi was shocked and terrified. "Inanna, forgive me. I did not know," he pleaded, tears streaming down his face, but his pleas fell on deaf ears. Inanna's face hardened. "While I face death, you live in comfort. You will take my place." The Gala demons, who accompanied Inanna, seized Dumuzi. They poured out the milk from his churns and broke his reed pipe. They beat him and dragged him away. Dumuzi cried out to Utu, the sun god, and his brother-in-law, "Utu, help me escape these demons." Utu, feeling pity, changed Dumuzi's hands and feet into those of a snake, allowing him to escape. But the Gala were relentless. They finally caught him and took him to the underworld. Inanna, seeing the suffering of Dumuzi, felt a pang of regret. Geshtinanna, Dumuzi's sister, stepped forward. "I will share my brother's fate," she said bravely. They agreed that Dumuzi and Geshtinanna would alternate their time in the underworld, marking the changing seasons. Reflecting on her journey, Inanna realized, "My path brought pain, but also growth. Life's essence is in balancing love and power." Inanna's story continued as she reclaimed her place in the heavens. Her quest for the Mies and her descent into the underworld had changed her. One evening, as the sun set and bathed the world in a golden glow, Inanna sat with Nishaba in the temple of Anu. "My lady, you have faced great trials and emerged stronger," Nishaba said, her eyes filled with admiration. Inanna smiled, a serene expression on her face. "True power, Nishaba, comes from understanding and compassion, not domination. I have learned much from Gilgamesh, Enki, and even Eshkrigal. They taught me the value of empathy and the strength in vulnerability." Ninshaba nodded. "Your trials have made you wise, my lady. Your spirit endures through all adversity." As Inanna looked over the world she ruled, she saw beauty in its cycles. "My experiences are a part of life itself, affecting everyone," she thought. One day, as she walked through the garden, Inanna encountered a young priestess tending to the plants. "What is your name, child?" Inanna asked gently. The girl looked up, her eyes wide with awe. "I am Tiamat, my lady." Inanna knelt beside her. "Tiamat, do you know the story of the Tree of Life?" Tiamat nodded eagerly. "Yes, my lady. It was once destroyed by dark forces, but was restored through your strength and the hero Gilgamesh." Inanna smiled. "Indeed. Remember, Tiamat, that true power lies not in what we destroy, but in what we create and protect." As Inanna rose, she felt a sense of fulfillment. Her journey taught her that even the greatest gods must face their fears and come out stronger. Her story showed the power of resilience, love, and sacrifice. Inanna's legacy lived on as a symbol of strength and wisdom. Her journey from the heavens to the underworld and back showed the enduring spirit of the goddess. Through her trials, she found her true strength and spirit. And so, Inanna, the Queen of Heaven, had found her true power, not in the conquest of others, but in the mastery of herself. Her story is a timeless reminder that through trials and tribulations, we discover our true strength and the boundless depths of our spirit. Inanna's story continues to inspire and captivate, reminding us that even the greatest among us must face their shadows and emerge stronger. The balance of love and power, of empathy and resilience is where the essence of life truly lies. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click on the next one for more stories of mythology from around the world.